Hey everyone, welcome back to US Mint News and Reviews. I'm sonofasilverstacker. Today's date is September 19th, 2023. Now let's get busy. Let's get to it. Over here to the bullion sales at the United States Mint. No new tale to tell. A little bit worried that they're not going to have any more coins for the month of September, even though we have about a week and a half or so, and that would leave only October and November and maybe a week or two of December for the United States Mint to bring this total of 16.4 million up to about 20 to 21 million. And really, is that too much to ask for? Because really, in reality, I think that has a lot to do with the premiums that we're paying. And I think the lowest premium we've seen in a few years was 749, at least over here at moneymetals.com. And look at this. This is very interesting. The gold price right now is 1945.05. Silver price is 23.52. Gold is about $130 from its all-time high. And that was just a few short years ago. While silver, well, it had its all-time high, I think about double this. So we're only halfway there. So what does that say about gold and silver right now? I think what it means is that silver is not as much in demand, as it were, for gold. And who's buying up all this gold at this particular price point? I believe they are the central banks all through the rest of the world. Now, why is that? Well, because they could be introducing a digital currency backed by gold, right? So wouldn't that be something? I think that a country that has a digital currency that's backed by gold could have the most, well, valued currency on earth. Wouldn't that be something? Imagine if your money's backed by gold and not just, hey, yeah, it's good, you're good, go ahead and spend it. You know, the faith based on gold, not faith. Wouldn't that be something? Now, they're going to pay you $24.97 for each of your American Silver Eagles, but would you even do that? Wouldn't you want to sell them for $50, $75, or $100? I would think so, because, yeah, not going to do it. Now, let's head over here. There's a really interesting article, and it looks like politics are playing a role at the United States Mint, in a lot of people's opinion, and, well, I think they are correct, because check this out. This is an acknowledgement by William T. Gibbs of CoinWorld. This was article was published yesterday, September 18, 2023 at 7 a.m. Title of this article is Monday Morning Brief for September 18, 2023. I just think I just said that. It's like redundancy over here. Get political for 2026. And I do apologize for repeating myself over and over. So there you go. In 2026, for the nation's 250th anniversary, new obverse portraits of George Washington and John F. Kennedy will replace these now appearing on circulating U.S. quarter dollars and half dollars. Further changes are outlined under the redesigned law. There's Kennedy and Washington squaring off. There you go. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. We now know much more about the themes that could be explored in 2026 on the nation's semi-quincentennial coinage, as the United States Mint has opened an online survey and is calling for comments. And segments of the American society are going to have widely different views on some of the suggested themes. Now, do you think that you're one of those persons that has a widely different view on some of the suggested themes? Well, if you are, that's okay. The Mint wants to know about it. I would think anyway. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't ask, right? And if they didn't want to hear it, they shouldn't have asked. That's my opinion. Now it says here, Mint officials seem to be. Oh, and by the way, Salivate Metal did a video about this, and I think I acknowledged that yesterday or the day before about this particular survey. And what's interesting about this is that it seems to be getting bigger. What's getting bigger? Well, this whole notion that the Mint is being political, right? So this is a huge deal. A lot of people think that it's WOKE. But me personally, I think that some of these folks on the American Women Quarters, they weren't woke, I guess, as it were, as some people say. They were just doing it for themselves and maybe trying to make it better for other people who might be in their demographic. So that's really interesting. And I think that's okay. However, if, you feel they're jamming it down your throat and you're not really into it, I can see why it would kind of ruffle your feathers, and that's understandable. Now, it says here, Mint officials seem to be aiming at a coin program that not only will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Direct Declaration of Independence, but also major achievements occurring since that time, right? Including the passage of key amendments to the Constitution. For many Americans, that approach will seem as appropriate, all right? The United States of America is, after all, a work in progress, striving to be better, all right? Defining better, however, in this age of ultra-partisan politics is tough, since one person's progress is another person's atrocity. And really, I mean, if you think about it, why do you think everybody has been is ultra-partisan right now? Because they've been ginned up by the media. And I think, like I said, and I say this all the time, we're a lot more alike than we are different. Okay, we all want the same thing. We all want each other to treat each other with love and respect, and we all want to be able to pay our bills, have some nice, safe place to live, and have a decent job, right? I mean, that's basic, fundamental things that I think all of us are working on. However, there's people that keep picking scabs and not letting heal. You ever pick the scab? Yeah, the wound will not heal, right? So that's one thing that people need to be aware of, that they're being manipulated by these ultra-partisan politics. It's sad, but that's the current state of affairs. Now, it says here, in preparing to write this editorial, I took the Mint's online survey, also described in Paul Gilkes' news coverage, and that's right over here, folks. We talked about that on the 14th or 15th. U.S. Mint Open Survey calls for comment on 2026 coin designs, and I'll leave a link in the description for this, and it also has a link to that particular survey. Now, let's keep on keeping on. One of the questions asked is labeled this: struggle and progress, two sides of the same coin. Under this approach, this thematic concept would feature key historic figures central to meaningful American progress. The survey then lists some possible figures as follows. Now, here we go. George Washington and the American Revolution. Now, would you like to see that, or do we not get enough George Washington, or do we have too much George Washington? Then we have Alice Paul and the Declaration of Sentiments, Frederick Douglass and the 13th Amendment, Elizabeth Petrovich, and that's the Anti-Discrimination Act of 1945, and I think she was in the Alaska Native American coin. And believe it or not, Alaska actually had that Native American coin in circulation because the Alaskan legislature said, hey, we love this and we want it to be part of our circulating coins up here in Alaska. So you will find them in circulation up there. Now, Rosa Parks and civil rights, Harvey Milk and LGBTQ plus rights right there. Now, here we go. We'll keep on keeping on. Lots of stuff to cover. This is muy importante, too. Most of these themes, of course, are in the daily news as candidates for the presidency in 2024 national election jockey to express their personal views on what America should be like. And what's interesting is that it seems to be that there's a lot of manipulation on what we should be like, and we're being lectured by people who, well, it's kind of like this. Who asked them to change our country? Well, nobody, but they think that we need to be lectured. They think that we need to have a direction. And is that so bad to try and correct maybe what they see as not so good points of the American culture? Absolutely. I mean, that is their opinion, and they're trying to appeal to a certain group, right? So it's part of the whole political game. Some readers of this particular column will complain that themes are political and will say politics should play no role in coin collecting. However, he says the process of selecting designs of coins celebrating America past is, by its very nature, political. Politics is driving the entire program. Bam! There you go. Who could say it better than that, right? Here's the thing. The Mint wants to know your views on what coins should honor and asks for your recommendations. If you think that, say, the theme of Harvey Milk and the LGBTQ plus rights is appropriate topic for the semi-quincennial coinage, then say so. If that theme offends or upsets you, then tell the Mint that. That goes for every one of the suggested themes in the Mint's presented lists. If the theme makes you say yay or nay, say so. Take the Mint survey and let them know your views. Voicing your opinion on governmental politics is your right under the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights, a possible theme itself. Who knew? Now, under the theme, Fundamental Freedoms Protected by the First Amendment, the Mint lists the following possible themes: freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to assemble, the right to petition. All right, that's the grievances part, right? These, again, are themes reported on by the media on a daily basis and on which Americans hold different positions and opinions. Absolutely. See, it's all part of the grand picture. Another theme, knowledge-based democracy, is equally political and in the news and includes a quote from founding father James Madison: knowledge will forever govern the ignorance. Oh my goodness. Which basically means you better get an education. And that's one of the things about the American Women Quarters, that each and every single one of those women on those quarters, they're actually, well, Education, education, education. That was one of the most empowering things that any one of them has done so that they could affect large groups of people around them. Think about that. Knowledge will forever govern ignorance. Did you want to be governed because you're ignorant? No, you want to be the knowledgeable one, don't you? And the people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power knowledge gives. Absolutely. If knowledge is power, well, I always say, what's secret knowledge? A superpower? Could be. Now, not all the themes suggested are likely to be considered controversial by some collectors. One possible theme that likely will gain strong support from readers is depictions of liberty. Absolutely, I think that one's fantastic. It could be less political than some of the other possible themes, though that is not guaranteed based on collector reactions to recent depictions of liberty on U.S. coins and medals. You know, the ones with the horse and the tree? Yeah. Still, do not be surprised if the theme garners the most support from readers. That's amazing. Don't be surprised. What they're saying is that the depictions of Liberty, Lady Liberty, is the most popular one that most people want to see, right? The Mint survey suggests a lot of other possible themes, too many to address here. You owe it to yourself and your country, really, to take the survey and register your views. Designing the 2026 coins is a political process, so get political and vote your views, whatever they may be. Hey, that's a great article. I think that was one of the most important articles we've probably seen all year that addresses whatever it is we're seeing come out of the United States Mint. Let's just admit that. This is huge. It's a big deal. Now let's get over to those plus ones. No, wait, maybe not. What do I got here? I got the Coin World article by Paul Gilkes. What's this? Oh, yeah, look at that. I'm going to leave a link to the particular survey here in the description so that you can fill this out. And if you have done it before, I think you can do it again. And if not, you might want to just clean your cookies. That way you can pile on as much survey action as you want. There it is. Because, the Mint really wants to hear from you. They really do. They really, really do. Right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have done this. Usually, they're not too communicative. But like I said before, they're trying to be a riverbank to your river and just basically getting your opinion on their ideas of what these coins should be. Now, is that basically, a free-for-all for your ideas? Not necessarily. However, at the very end of this particular survey, you can provide any kind of ideas that you would like to. I'm not sure how much the Mint is going to, put weight in those and value those, but it does give you that opportunity. And that's all we're really asking for, right? Is an opportunity to voice our opinions. And they are giving it to you this time. And I think you should take it no matter what you feel. There it is. Now let's hit over the plus ones. Bam! This is Proverb 28:4. Those who forsake the word praise the wicked. Ooh, almost wicked. That's Will Wheaton. But the keepers of the word contend with them. Yeah, you got to contend with them. Gosh, what a burnout. A person who once learned but has abandoned their learning is the worst of all. Oh, right? That's funny. That's pretty good. Now, over here to 39's Fine 99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. This is Metallica. Master puppets pulling your strings. You know it. So, folks, I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you're hearing, see, sub the channel. It's free. Oh, by the way, on my other channel, I just want to let you know I've done the very first video for the real estate biz. You can go check that out. Stacker out.